Like, if you're here to make an impact on the world and marketing is not the way that you do that, do not do your own marketing. Don't try to build funnels. Don't try to do any of that stuff, because your goal is to create impact. And the best way for you to create impact is to not figure out how to build an automation, not figure out how to change a color in your funnel. Your goal and what you should be doing to actually impact and profitize your community is to, one, have conversations with existing clients who are paying you. Number two, have conversations with people who ultimately will become clients, so your prospects. And three, communicate and share your message with that community. And that is what you should be focused on.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. Chuck Anderson here. This is the Creative Collaboration Show, and I am so thrilled to have another amazing guest with me today. I have Mikado with me. Hawk, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Excellent. I'm so glad you're here. And look, you really want to pay attention to what Hawk has to say here. This man has a lot of really powerful information to share, especially if you're growing or scaling a business. He helps entrepreneurs add extra 6 figures to their income and beyond using strategies. So we'll talk about some of those strategies. We'll talk about collaborations and partnerships and whatever else we feel like talking about during the show. So Hawk, welcome to the show. And that's my introduction light. I'll let you tell your story and who you are and what you do, and we'll take it from there.
All right. Well, so thanks so much for the amazing introduction. The reality, though, is that I learned how to do marketing wrong long before I learned how to do it right. And I probably spent way too many years doing it the wrong way before I started doing it the right way. And I had the blessing of getting mentored and learning all about marketing, funnels, sales, and having to figure these things out all on my own, and had the blessing to do a ton of trial and error, and also get to interview some of the coolest people on this planet also. So there's lots of things that I've done, and I know we only have about 20 minutes in the show here, so I'll leave it to you to figure out where you want to take us.
Well, sure. I mean, let's start with some of the cool work that you've done, in terms of how you've helped entrepreneurs and business owners add 6 figures plus to their businesses. What's your approach to that? And what's the main problem that you're helping them solve?
So the number one thing that I understand how to do is grow a list, which is one of the things that eludes people in a lot of ways. And the biggest and most challenging thing that people end up doing is, or trying to figure out how to do, is grow their list in a way that's actually profitable to them and will make them money all at the same time, and be able to impact their list and grow their community and do all of the things that we ultimately want to do. In my opinion, that we're in business to do a couple things. Number one is make an impact on the world, or at least on our audience. Number two is to do it in a way that is profitable, which ultimately means that we have to make our business simple and sustainable all at the same time. Because if not, then we're just trying to spin our wheels. And it's one of the reasons so many businesses go out of business as well.
Sure. And I love what you said there about making a big impact. And so many of our listeners are either first-time entrepreneurs or seasoned entrepreneurs who are looking to make a big or bigger impact with what they're doing individually in their businesses. And it's funny, this is my 27th year of doing this. You make a big impact and then, okay, that's great. But then what do you want to do? You want to make an even bigger impact. It's never, ever, ever enough. And there's always another level. And so love that. And so list building, right? Very, very important, because without a list and without an audience, it's really hard to make a big impact. And so what is it that really makes people reach out to you or find you? Is it specifically list building, or is there something that comes before that? What is it that they're searching for that they're missing?
The number one thing that people come to us for is how to actually grow their community and profitize their list, so profitably monetize their list. And we help them from literally from end to end, going from actually putting together the right pieces of content that get them excited to move forward as a client. From there, also the before work, which is the actual traffic, getting people into that funnel, and then the after work, which is the follow-up components and getting people to pick up the phone or answer a text message or open an email, click on it, and ultimately schedule a call, register for training, or end up purchasing from at the end of the day.
Wow, fantastic. And how long have you been doing that now?
I've been doing it for 20 plus years, and I've been doing it for about 10 years the right way. You're wrong.
Sounds a lot like my story as well, right? There's always the beginnings where you kind of like make all the mistakes, and then it's like, oh, then it finally clicks and you start doing it the right way. I love how you put that. And then the next 10 years, hopefully even better.
Yeah, the next I've learned a lot in the last couple of years. I had my biggest business partnership breakup, and also came with the biggest breakthrough that has led us to having so much more fun in our business at this point in my life. And I believe that this is something that everybody should do from the get-go. Don't wait until you've had a business failure to make this a reality. Is make sure you're having fun in your business. If you're not having fun, just don't do it. Like you didn't join and create a business. You didn't create a business so that you could be, working more and having less fun. I get it. There's always things you have to do that aren't fun. And those are the first things you should delegate. For me, that was delegating email, social media, picking up the phone, literally doing anything that wasn't strategy. So I love strategy, and I love doing the speaking. And I also love the technical and figuring out impossible problems. Actually, one of the core focus of our company is actually solving impossible problems. And we do it on a daily basis. One of my favorite sayings is, I like to solve impossible problems before breakfast, so that always I can start the day off right.
Well, what a great idea, because that's your day is already productive before lunchtime, and the rest of it is a bonus after that. So I love what you said there, and it's a great segue into our conversation about collaborations, partnerships. You mentioned about a partnership breakup. I've had my share of partnership breakups and learned a whole ton from that. Had some great successes, had some not so successful partnerships, but so much learning along the way. And that's really what we're all about here, because our audience really, they're looking for that missing piece. Sometimes it's a person, sometimes it's technology, but maybe you could share a little bit about how partnerships or collaborations have made an impact in your business. It could be the failures that provided a learning opportunity, could be successes as well. How has this made a difference to you and your business?
I think partnerships are by far one of the most important things. And let's face it, we're all human beings, and we have to remember that we're all human beings, and human beings don't ever agree with each other, or not very often. We agree on the big things, but not so much the small things, kind of thing. And in our business, I've had multiple businesses, and pretty much every single one of them has had some type of partnership involved in them. And every single one of them has come to an end. Most of them have come to an end amicably. Two of them have come to an end not so amicably. One of them cost me $300,000 in negative in my bank account, kind of thing. And the reality, though, is that you can always bounce back. Making money is easy. That's the easy part. If you literally, if you want to make a lot of money, go do e-commerce. I mean, that's a great way to make a lot of money really fast. And if that doesn't impact the world, though, so that's why I don't really care about doing it. So if you want to impact the world and make a lot of money really fast, generally speaking, that's consulting, coaching, group programs, putting on events and transforming people's lives in that capacity. The other is affiliate marketing, which by far has saved my bacon on more than one occasion. As a matter of fact, during that big breakup that cost me so much money. The only reason I didn't end up on the street was because we had affiliate commissions coming in that were recurring. And it's actually from my official competitor, which is kind of funny. Which is also the person I learned the most from. So there's a whole lot of fun stories there as well.
Yeah, well, affiliate marketing has saved my bacon more times than I can count. I mean, it really got me out of my job in 1999, and it's been part of my income mix for forever. And you're right, it's one of the types of collaborations that is probably the easiest to get into, but also a lot of money can be made with that. So where do you go to look? Like, so when you're looking for maybe the next affiliate program that connects with what you're doing, or even just anyone you want to collaborate with or partner with, where do you start looking? What works for you?
So there are a couple reasons why I will promote an affiliate offer. This is something that I learned from the person who I've learned the most from, and I'll share more about that later. But if you have an offer, let's say you're starting brand new in business, or you're starting a brand new offer and you haven't tested it out in the market, and maybe you don't know if it's something that your list will actually want, find an affiliate program that has an offer that ultimately solves that same problem. And it's probably going to be in a slightly different way than you do, but is, for all intents and purposes, about the same thing, right? It's going to, but if you're selling bookkeeping, right, you're going to go find somebody who will pay you an affiliate commission to send them clients for bookkeeping. Now you grow your list of people who are interested in information and who would be interested in that. And then you can then go and deliver the service without ever having to do anything, because you're sending them to a partner. That partner pays you while you grow your list. And now you have a list of buyers. Now, when you're ready to actually launch your thing, you can then go and launch your thing to that list. You're not trying to start from scratch. You're not starting with no money in the bank. You have hopefully, by the way, I always recommend utilizing some type of affiliate commission program that pays recurring commissions, which is why bookkeeping came to mind. Funnel software, which is what we offer. Software is great just in general. Any kind of software is epic. Any kind of service that pays ongoing, even if it's only $100 or $500 a month or whatever, that is absolutely beautiful and powerful for you. Which is, again, how we saved our bacon, was we had promoted these programs and offers that pay us every single month. And I made hundreds of thousands of dollars just from affiliate commissions from something I promoted once, and they continue to pay me over and over and over again for the life of that customer. And I also have a list of tens of thousands of people in our own list of people who ultimately were interested in those offers. And so now when we launched our program, it was widely successful from the get-go. So that's number one. Number two are offers that I know that my audience wants and desires and is looking for, problems that they come up with on calls, or problems they email in about, or objections that they have inside of the sales conversation. By the way, if you don't have a bonus for every single objection you get on a sales call, go find a partner, not yourself, to go and record a training on that specific thing that then leads them into their products, programs, and services. And now you have a bonus offer stack that's worth however much that you want it to be worth, and it ultimately is worth, that solves and literally handles every objection. I have literally a program for every objection that I've ever gotten, and it is awesome because when I get on calls, they're like, well, what about this? I'm like, well, there's this program. It was produced by this person. You get it for free when you go through, when you invest with us. And they go, okay, that's no longer a problem. And if they choose to invest with that person, I now get an affiliate commission all at the same time. So it's a beautiful win-win-win situation, because they get the problem that they ultimately believe they need solved or feel like they need solved in that moment. I now have a new customer, and if that person then takes advantage of whatever that offer is at the end of that program, they now have a new client. That person has the next problem they need solved, and we now get a commission. And those are the two main things. The third is, let's say you're passionate about something, or you're interested in something, or you use something that actually has an affiliate program. I will create affiliate funnels just because, to get people to use a product that I use so that I don't have to pay for it. So I have entire things that I don't actually pay anything for, and I don't spend a ton of money or time or energy on them. But I might drive some traffic to them just so that I don't have to pay for the service every single month because they pay me an affiliate commission. And so it's a great little third hack to never have to pay for anything in life, if you can find somebody who has a program like that.
Well, that's a great idea. I think I'm going to start building affiliate funnels now for everything that I'm paying for now, and get that software for free. But one great takeaway, and I really want to emphasize this for our listeners, because we're talking about affiliate marketing as being what I consider to be the ultimate collaboration, because there's such an instant value exchange, and you can make really good money with that. But what I heard you say was create a bonus for every objection. And as soon as you said that, I had instantly a dozen ideas for new bonuses that I need to create that would make already great offers even better. And so that is a great takeaway. And, I think when you think of it that way, because I think a lot of people struggle with coming up with bonuses, and they don't know what to do for bonuses. So they just come up with whatever, right? Oh, you can email me your questions, or you get a 15-minute call with me, or whatever. Those might be good bonuses if that's what people want. But if it's not answering an objection, if it's not what they want, then you're better off not having any bonuses at all, because you just made them up. It doesn't really connect. And what you said was connect them to the objections that they have. I love that. Love it. Love it. So, Hawk, I mean, we could probably list out, ideas and strategies for the next hour on that. I mean, obviously there's so much to unpack about this, but we have such a short amount of time. And I think really valuable tips. I really hope that our listeners take you up on what you've suggested to do here. Part of our show is sort of the grow yourself or self-help part of this. And this is where, everyone kind of has somebody that they learn from, somebody that they look up to. And I'd really love to hear from you. Who is the expert or leader, or, who inspires you or teaches you the most, that's made the biggest impact in your life and your business?
So there are actually a few people, and it always changes. This is actually, up until about a couple of years ago, I primarily followed Russell Brunson, who taught me a ton of really powerful things. And then I was ready for a new mentor coach. And I discovered that his mentor and coach, his original mentor and coach, was Mark Joyner. So I went down the path with him. And something I learned that's really powerful, going back to joint ventures, is creating embedded content. And this is probably this has made me more money since I started doing it, and has helped literally create like a massive flow of customers coming in, and not just any kind of customers, really high quality, amazing customers. And it's embedded content. And it's exactly what I talked about on the flip side, though, of having other people put bonuses ultimately of their content in your thing. Go out and find partners that you can put your content, you can put a process, you can put something of yours in their programs. Because again, there are objections that they have. They're actively looking for the thing that you now provide, or that you can provide to their audience. And they're qualified. They just spent money on it. So we have gotten to the point where our core focus of 2022 is finding as many partners as we can find, that it makes sense on both sides, of course, that we can then embed, we call them engines, where we will build out a custom process and system that actually uses our AI-driven system and it builds out the funnel for them. So one of our clients and also partners, he had a coaching program. They would fill out this workbook in a Google Doc. We took that Google Doc, turned it into a form online, and by the time they were done filling out the Google Doc, they had their funnel built because our system did it for them. And 80% of people who go through his program invest in our software and our platform and stay too. There's no like, hey, I need to figure out if I want this. It's like, in order for me to be successful, I need your thing because it is an integral part of his process. It was really cool. Actually, he sent me a message earlier today. He's like, everybody loves this so much. I'm considering rebuilding my entire business around your offer. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
And that is the power of this, because you literally are solving a problem that your partners, prospects need solved in such a way that they have no choice but to ultimately invest with you. So figure out how you can embed yourself and your content in your processes in your partners' programs. And that is by far one of the most powerful things that I've ever learned. And I'm so glad that I met Steve Wolsher, who introduced me to Russell Brunson, who ultimately mentioned Mark Joyner on a random call, and I decided to go join his program.
Amazing. I love how you laid out that strategy. I've personally made over $1 million doing exactly that, with that type of collaboration. And it is so extremely powerful. So love it. Absolutely love that. And thanks for sharing it. Hawk, if you were to choose one book that has completely changed your life, or you recommend that every business owner, entrepreneur reads because it'll change their life as well, what book would you recommend?
City of Influence by Jared Stewart and his sister, I think Sarah Stewart. And it's, at one point in my business, I was completely driven by the wrong things. And I was a gladiator. And when you read the book, you'll understand what I'm saying. And it's transformed how I looked at business. Literally the next week after I finished working on it and crying, by the way, it made me cry too, because I realized how terrible, like what I couldn't believe how I built my life and my business. I had read that. The next week I landed, at the time, one of my biggest clients, and I wasn't even expecting it. And it was all because I shifted how I approached relationships. And that was one of the biggest things. I didn't even ask him to become a client. He's just like, something changed in you and I love it. And I know what you do. I'm ready to buy. And so I definitely highly recommend City of Influence by Jared and Sarah Stewart.
Wow, that sounds absolutely life-changing. We'll make sure that the links to that are somewhere near this video or in the show notes of the podcast episode. So Hawk, thank you so much for that suggestion and just really everything that you've been so generous with sharing here on this episode. So before we wrap up, tell everyone how they can get in contact with you. Where can they find you if they want to learn more or even get your help?
Yeah, so we have this really cool process where you get to go through and figure out what lead magnet would be the best fit for you, for your audience, for your business. And then at the end of it, you'll get an invitation to join us live on our trainings. We do them multiple times every single month. So you get to join us live, all for free because you're here on this podcast. And then the link to that will be in the show notes. Make sure you go into the show notes, click on that link, go through the process. It'll take you 3 to 5 minutes, register and show up live to that call, because we don't do recordings, by the way. I do not do any recordings unless you pay me. Of course, you can always buy the recordings from me. But if you want to join us and learn this process and build your business, impact your audience, grow your community, and profitize your list, then this is going to help you do that.
Fantastic. Hawk, thanks so much. And again, it's been awesome. Please do go and connect with Hawk. We have the link to his website and where you can connect with him right beneath this video or in the podcast show notes. So make sure that you do. Hawk, again, thank you so much for being on the show. If you were to leave our audience with just one last word of wisdom, piece of advice, what would you say?
Like if you're here to make an impact on the world and marketing is not the way that you do that, do not do your own marketing. Don't try to build funnels. Don't try to do any of that stuff, because your goal is to create impact. And the best way for you to create impact is to not figure out how to build an automation, not figure out how to change a color in your funnel. Your goal and what you should be doing to actually impact and profitize your community is to, one, have conversations with existing clients who are paying you. Number two, have conversations with people who ultimately will become clients, so your prospects. And three, communicate and share your message with that community. And that is what you should be focused on, not worrying about all the tech and all the technology that comes with it. Our team can support you with that. There are plenty of other people on this planet who can support you with that geek out on it. The reality is there's somebody who likes cleaning toilets on this planet. And if you don't like cleaning toilets, you shouldn't. And you should look at your marketing as kind of doing the same thing, because I know that seems weird, but most marketing is ultimately kind of the same thing. I mean, it even kind of looks like a funnel now that I think about it. It's totally random.
You just came up with a new concept just now, which is amazing.
I did.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well done. And look, I really welcome the opportunity to work, talk to you again, and who knows, maybe we can collaborate in the future. For those of you listening in, do connect with Hawk. And there's a whole lot that you can learn and get help with from him. And wherever you need your collaborations, partnerships, or whatever, go out there, identify that thing that you need in your business, go and find an affiliate program, create some bonuses that speak to the objections, and make an impact on more of the people in your community. So until then, go check out Hawk's stuff and come back and listen to the next episode. Until then, be awesome, everyone.